now.
Okay. Call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Ms. Stolen?
Here.
Ms. Belisca?
Present.
Mrs. McKnight?
Here.
Mayor Morgan?
Here.
Mrs. Jeffroy?
Here.
Salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's a public meeting, Borough Council, Borough of New Providence, County of Union, State of New Jersey. Adequate notice was given in accordance with PL 1975, Chapter 231. That annual notice was made in conformance with Section 13 of the Act. We have a public hearing of Ordinance 01. Please read the title.
An ordinance amending Chapter 201 of the Code of the Borough of New Providence entitled Peddling and Soliciting.
Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, what this ordinance is about peddling and soliciting, and actually we copy Berkeley Heights because theirs is a lot better than ours. So anybody wishing to address council on this ordinance and this ordinance only? Seeing no one, I declare the public hearing closed. Roll call, please.
Ms. Stolen?
Aye.
Ms. Belisca?
Aye.
Mrs. McKnight?
Yes.
Mrs. Jeffroy?
Yes.
Ordinance 02, please read the title.
An ordinance to amend Chapter 257 of the Code of the Borough of New Providence entitled Vehicles and Traffic.
Have a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, what this ordinance is amending the parking on Willow Street over by Silbrook School. Anybody have any public hearing on this ordinance only? Seeing no one, I declare the public hearing closed. Roll call, please.
Ms. Stolen?
Aye.
Ms. Belisca?
Aye.
Mrs. McKnight?
Yes.
Mrs. Jeffroy?
Yes.
Okay, I have appointments for the Municipal Alliance. Stacy Gunderman, BOE rep, Dave Chango, BOE rep, and Amy Lewis, Health Department rep. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
No? So be it. I need approval of minutes of January 28th. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
No? So be it. Okay, we have correspondence from the New Jersey State Planning Commission, notice of the Union County meeting, Union County Board of County Commissioners for Infrastructure and Municipal Aid Grant Program, and I know we're going to be mentioning that later. Any comments? Seeing none, we'll go on to council business. Administration, Kathleen.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2025-64 is a resolution approving the proposal from Document Solutions in an amount not to exceed $16,855.20 for a police copy machine. It's a Sourcewell contract number 030321-KON. This is a renewal of the lease agreement for the copy machine for the police department. Next is Resolution 2025-65. This is a resolution approving the request of the New Providence business community to sponsor community events during the calendar year 2025. The business community is seeking approval for their yearly events.
Okay, affordable housing, Nadine.
Thank you, Mayor. First, we're putting through an authorization to bid the Baberish Manor elevator. So this is for a replacement of the existing elevator, which has been in dire need of repair for as long as we can remember. The borough received a CDBG grant in the amount of $65,000 for the remaining money for the project. The borough received a grant for $65,000. The remaining money for the project will come from the Affordable House Trust Fund. Got it. Ordinance 2025-03, it's an introduction, and it's an ordinance approving an extension of 30 years for the lease of public property known as Lot 14.02 in Block 50 by New Providence Affordable Housing and Urban Renewal Associates LP. So again, talking about the Elizabeth Barabash. I was laughing because I always pronounce it wrong. It's Barabash. Apologies. extending the lease for the Elizabeth Barabash Manor. So back in 1994, June of 1994, there was a lease that was put together for 30 years between the Lesser and the Church Council of New Providence Affordable Housing. This ordinance will extend that for 30 years. It'll run from March 1st, 2025, expiring on February 28th of 2055. So again, another 30 lease, which that prior ordinance did not permit for. This is also a great help for us because we will be able to use those 22 credits in our upcoming round of affordable housing. It's a continuation of expiring controls, and it's just a positive way for us to fulfill our obligation for affordable housing.
Well, we might as well keep on going,
Just
Board of Health.
Keep on going. Board of Health, Resolution 2025-66 is a resolution authorizing agreement between the Borough of New Providence and Town of Westfield for professional health services for the years 2025 through 2029. So this is a renewal of the 5-year contract between the Westfield Board of Health and the New Providence Board of Health to provide the borough with contracted health services for the years 2025 to 2029. So in 2025, this contract will be $72,924, for which we get access to a full staff of people who perform great services for us with our restaurants, with our basically everything health related. They provide us information on our website. They provide information
Wellness Wednesdays.
on Wellness Wednesdays, so look out for that on Facebook. So they provide us with an amazing amount for $72,000. Starting in 2026, there will be a 5% increase on that yearly, which possibly may change due to some tuberculosis services which they give us, which they are negotiating currently. But definitely great value for the money, and they are very communicative with us, and it's a great service for all of our residents.
Okay, Diane,
Thank-
community activities.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2025-67 is a salary resolution, and it's approving part-time seasonal employees for baseball instruction and facility managers for various programs.
Okay, may as well keep going, engineering.
Here I go. Resolution 2025-68 is a resolution authorizing the return of performance bond in the amount of $6,000.30 to MSP 15 South LLC. Basically, the engineer has performed the final inspection and has found that the as-built conditions substantially conform to the design plans. And that's about it.
Great. Finance, Lisa.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2025-69 is a resolution authorizing the payment of the attached bills payable list in the amount of $9,504,169.86. Some of the significant items on this accounts payable list includes the New Providence Board of Education for $8.9 million, and that's the February tax levy. Horizon Healthcare of about $152,969. That's the February payment. The New Providence Library for $104,957 for February appropriations. And Gold Standard Consulting for $97,183. This goes back to when we did the tennis court resurfacing. This is not a new project, but one that they finally billed us for from way back when. Resolution 25-70, it's a resolution authorizing emergency temporary appropriation. So we're amending the 2025 municipal budget to include additional money that was not anticipated in the temporary budget. This is for insurance, some pension payments, health services contract, so 2 different pensions. Then we have ordinance 2025-04. This is an ordinance canceling $808,773. $808,773, yeah. of obligations authorized but not issued for and by the Borough of New Providence in the County of Union, New Jersey. What this is really is, over the last year, we've gone over our current bond ordinances, and we reviewed projects that were completed or not done, and that debt we basically canceled. So these were projects that, were done for less than we had anticipated, or where we got grants, or for instance FEMA money, for instance the bridges that we were planning on doing and paying for ourselves. FEMA ended up paying for good chunks of those. So we were able to move $808,000 off. And what this is gonna do is really, it's the first step in moving towards some new bond ordinances that we're gonna be looking at this year. So we are going to basically reduce the amount of debt that we're going to have to look at. So this is a good thing, and it's a good first step.
Okay, personnel, Nadine.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2025-71 is a resolution advancing Joseph Pasquale to Step F, Second Plant Operator License C1-S1 and Black Seal in the Public Works Department of the Borough of New Providence. So Joseph is an employee down at the wastewater treatment plant. He completed a 180-hour course, which was called Intro to Water and Wastewater Operations, which is required before being able to sit for the exams for wastewater treatment S1 and collection C1 licensure. As per the collective bargaining agreement, Joe is moving to Step F, Second Plant Operator Licensed C1, S1, and Black Seal. Eligibility for a licensed operator in New Jersey requires a combination of experience, educational prerequisites, and passing an exam. Maintaining a license requires completion of continuing education every 3-year recertification period or successful retesting. These processes are managed by the DEP with expert guidance from the Board of Examiners and the Advisory Committee on Water Supply and Wastewater Licensed Operator Training. So great job to Joseph for stepping up and doing this, and his services are much appreciated down at the wastewater treatment plant.
Okay, Public Works, Diane.
Thank you, Mayor. We have an authorization to hire DPW summer help, and basically the DPW is seeking permission to post for 3 summer help positions. Applicants must be 18 years old with a valid driver's license. Resolution 2025-72 is a resolution supporting application submission to the Union County Infrastructure and Municipal Aid Grant Program for 2025. This is an annual matching grant through Union County. The grant program has a goal of providing assistance that will stimulate the development of public projects of economic, social, transportation, and governmental importance to local municipalities. We are seeking $50,000 to be used to help offset the cost of annual paving, and we have applied for this grant many years.
Yep, great. Okay, we have committee reports. I really don't have anything except public safety is about roads. And I just want to thank Public Works. I mean, our roads, every single snowstorm, are clear. They are clean. And I hear it from people in other communities. I come to New Providence, everything's cleaned up. Well, they do a great job. And I know I've said it, we pay a little more overtime, but our roads are clean. They're always ahead of the curve. So I just want to thank Dan, Ralph, for doing what they do, because it's not easy. If you've ever been out there, it's a long haul. Mm-hmm. So I just want to say thank you to them, and that's it. Operations normal. Kathleen.
Thank you, Mayor. Committee reports for the Diversity Committee. Councilman Alex Cogan and I attended the Lunar New Year celebration that was co-sponsored by the Summit YMCA, the Berkeley Heights Diversity Council, Buy Local NJ and the Han Academy on Sunday, February 2nd at the Berkeley Heights YMCA. It was a very fun and colorful event, and it showcased the beautiful and ancient traditions of the Chinese culture. So we are very happy to be able to be there for that. We're just continuing to work on the series of steps we want to take toward the goal of reinstating the Diversity Committee. Should have more to report over the next couple of weeks. For Municipal Alliance, it's already very active this year. On Wednesday, February 5th, they hosted a table at the high school showing of a compelling documentary called Screenagers, Growing Up in the Digital Age. And it highlighted the impact of the digital age on children, how to help them minimize harmful effects and find balance. It focused on cell phones, including smartphones and video games, and both biological and cognitive changes that children experience with overuse. And there was a panel discussion with local experts. One of our New Providence police officers was on the panel, where parents and kids asked questions, and it was very well attended and generated lots of discussions. And the next meeting of the Municipal Alliance is tomorrow night, February 12th at 7 p.m. So I have more to report about that at our next council meeting. I also just wanted to acknowledge and express my appreciation to Mayor Morgan, Chief Hen, and Dr. Zerpoli for their joint letter that was released on Friday afternoon, February 7th, where they re-emphasized their commitment to support our residents as the federal government conducts actions related to immigration reform in our area. If anyone hasn't seen that letter, it's available on the newprov.us website homepage under News and Events. So thank you for doing that.
Well, all the letter basically did was gave the Attorney General's message. We all are here to uphold and preserve the Constitution, but we will aid and support, if asked, any of our state or federal officials. I mean, that is our duty. So I just want to make everybody know that, you know, locally, we enforce the law. So, and just make everybody aware that we do, you know, if asked, we help our law enforcement partners. So, okay, thank you. Diane?
Thank you, Mayor. Again, go to the source, our website, Facebook page, or Instagram, but our website is the source. Also, for source for community activities is under Government Departments and Community Activities tab. We are kicking off this wellness challenge, which is pretty fun and exciting. I have a little blurb to read. The New Providence is hosting an inaugural New Providence Wellness Challenge. This free community program will run for 5 weeks, starting February 23rd through March 30th. It's easy to sign up and join by registering on Community Pass. Again, underneath Community Activities, there's a tab. And select the 2025 Wellness Challenge. And we're really excited about it. It has to do with eating good food, moving more, and thriving. So just like similar to the Green Challenge last year, you have weekly tidbits and information and just, you know, helpful hints kind of thing. Double shout out for our DPW for all that they do. This is a crazy time of year for them. Thank you very much. And also another shout out to Joe Pasquale. Kudos to him. Huge thing for our borough. Board of Ed has some strategic planning sessions coming up. The next one is on 2/18. Look at their website. Again, go to the source for them. And we had a very exciting meeting last night. Myself and Nadine, we had our kickoff meeting for our Revolution 250 committee. A lot of great ideas, a lot of questions coming out of it. Talking about trying to get everybody involved, the town involved. Well, it's a town thing, but everybody in town, you know, from the school district to the library to every single facet to our businesses. So we had a lot of great ideas, past and basically like the past and moving into the future. And one of the things that we were talking about, where is it? It was a good quote, historical and education. So we're really excited about that. More to come. I think that's it.
Okay, Lisa.
Thank you, Mayor. Finance Committee, we have had 2 meetings so far. We just met before this council meeting and received our first draft of the budget. There will be several iterations, obviously, as we dig in and go through that budget. But we're anticipating some good things out of that, so stay tuned there. Beautification Committee will have their first meeting next week, so more to come there. Mental Health Committee, Mental Health Advocacy and Education, I should say. This week is going to be hosting what they're calling a cross-town meeting here in our borough offices, and we're going to host all of our neighboring communities. Summit, Berkeley Heights, Chatham, Cranford, Madison, Long Hill. They're all really interested in hearing what we're doing and how we put out Mental Health Awareness Month in May. So they're coming for just a little education session, and hopefully we can spread the mental health awareness across all these other communities as well for them to participate. So that's the goal. So I think that's going to be great. And then lastly, I think that was it. That's all I got. No library this week, so. Sorry.
Nadine.
Thank you, Mayor. Affordable housing. So we had an affordable housing status update meeting this prior Friday. As you know, we passed a resolution on 198 being our number. That number was officially filed and posted, and is now out. You can find it on the state website. It was an interesting fact that we learned that day. Over 100 towns did not file. So good for us for doing what we're supposed to do.
Wow.
So we're well on to our next steps of coming up with a workable plan by the end of June. We have to get through February and March to deal with any challenges if anything arises, but we're on top of it and moving forward. Community activities, older adult services. Councilwoman Belisca and I are talking about reaching out to various factors of our older adult community. That includes our residents up at Lantern Hill, our residents over at the Barabash Manor, as well as going over to the DeCorso Center. So stay tuned on that. We'll have updates as we go. And I think everything else has been covered.
Okay,
Thank you.
Bernadette.
Thank you, Mayor. Just to piggyback on Councilwoman Joffroy's affordable housing, after our meeting on Friday, I asked McKinley Mertz if she would be available to come and do a Q&A. So she's going to be at the March 11th meeting of council. It's a Tuesday night. It'll start at 7:30 normal time. We're going to get a flyer together and push it out to the public. So anyone in the public who does have questions about how we got here, that would be a great opportunity for you to come in and ask those questions. Also on next Wednesday, I believe it is, February 19th, the police department will be hosting a town hall meeting here in council chambers. Topics include police department renovation, 2024 traffic safety improvements, 2025 traffic safety goals, recent crime trends, crime prevention tips, Pact Watch program. All are welcome. If you require any additional information about that night, please call the police department's non-emergency number at 908-665-1111 and ask for either Lieutenant Don Stratenovic or Sergeant Andrew Diamond. And
I'm glad you brought it up.
yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah,
Other than that, operations normal.
thank you.
I have one more thing.
Yes.
Happy early birthday to Bernadette Cucaro.
And happy birthday, Councilman Kaminsky, who was home ill today.
Yes.
Lucky him, huh? Okay. When's your birthday?
Thursday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay. At this time, we have public hearing. Anyone wishing to address council? Go ahead, Ellen.
Alan Swanson, 47 Overhill Road. I wanted to agree with Councilmember Dolan on thanking the town for putting out the information. It's really important. My wife and I, one of our thing that we do is we go out to lunch just about every day. My wife has lived in Mexico for some time and is fluent in Spanish. We have a number of people that are friends. And I can tell you that the people that work in these environments are actually scared. And they'll say so. Fortunately, there are directives that have been put out, like the one that you've put out, that point out that they have the same rights that we have when approached by officers, whether they're federal, whatever have you. So that's good. It's also important because there are towns, and Ocean County, for that matter, who have actually passed resolutions saying, we want to cooperate with ICE, and we essentially are going to defy the directive from the Attorney General's office. Ocean County just passed this last week, a resolution saying that, hey, we're here to support ICE. And the only other thing that I want to add is that there is, the other concern is that this being a directive, there could be a change in administration in New Jersey, and the directive could easily be overturned, and those protections that you've published would no longer exist for immigrants in New Jersey. So there is legislation, the Immigrant Trust Act, which basically puts the directive, makes it law. And there are a number of towns who have actually come out and supported the legislation. I have to tell you, I don't know exactly where it is right now. I know that it made it to a committee and it's not being dealt with. But there is speculation that the publicity and the things that are going on and the raid in Newark in particular have increased the possibility of that legislation moving forward. So I just wanted to thank you and then provide that information. It's in the Senate, it's Bill 3672, the Immigrant Trust Act. So thank you.
I think I gotta make it crystal clear that everybody, we followed the directives of the Attorney General of New Jersey. That's what our local law enforcement does. However, federal law supersedes everything. And when asked, we work with everybody. So I don't want anybody to get the idea that we're gonna take a position. We're just gonna follow the law here. And that's it, Alan. And I don't think any of us here are gonna take a position. We're just gonna follow the law, what's presented to us, and the police department's gonna do the same. I just wanna make it perfectly clear that we're not targeting anybody here. That's not our objective. But I said it before, somebody commits a crime, if they're born here, if they're here legally or not, we're gonna arrest and prosecute. If you don't commit a crime, we're not gonna bother you. And we're not looking for people. That's not on a local level our job. So just so everybody's aware that we're not gonna pass any legislation, we're not gonna do anything like that. The guidelines are set and that's what we're gonna follow. And that's all I'm gonna say about it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I'm gonna say about it.
I just, the concern is that There's no one.
I
There is no person, whether they're an advocate for immigrants or any person, that believes that people that commit crimes shouldn't be dealt with. The issue is the raids.
I understand what the issues are, but that's not on a local level. That's on a federal level.
Well, it certainly isn't a local level. It's the people, it's your local people who are scared.
You know,
The immigrants in this town.
I'm not saying any more about it. I think I made my point. We follow the law dictated by the state and the federal government. That's all we're doing. And I brought it, I sent that letter, so everybody knows what the law is. So there's no doubt of what the law is. And that's what we follow. That's it.
Right. But it is a
Okay.
local issue. You just said that you did that because it's a local issue.
I did it because I don't want our police officers to get jammed up with a bunch of questions about this, which they really don't have any control about. And I did it because, you know, I understand people have anxiety. All I wanted to do was tell people what the law is so they understand their rights. That's it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anyone else wishing to address council? Seeing no one? I do.
I have one thing to
Okay.
add that I forgot.
Yeah.
Alex Cogan asked that we just make everyone aware
That the Eagles won?
that the Eagles won, absolutely. And he would be very happy that we give him a shout out for the Eagles.
For the record.
For the record. But besides that, the Sustainability Committee is going to be submitting their silver certification submission later this week.
Great.
He said that they need roughly 320 points to get to silver status, but their application has approximately 500 points, so, well, more than they need. So, thanks to Doug and the committee and Allison for getting it to that submission state.
Awesome.
So that's
And it is not easy getting that silver. We've been stuck at bronze for like, what, 10 years? Yeah, so kudos. All right,
Good thing some of us are a little competitive.
I declare the public hearing closed, and we'll go to formal action. Need a motion on items 1 through 13, please.
So moved?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Dolan?
Aye.
Ms. Belisca?
Aye.
Mrs. McKnight?
Yes.
Mrs. Jeffroy?
Yes.
Okay, I have a motion for adjournment. please.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
No, so be it. And everybody, be careful out there. We're gonna, it seems like we're having storm after storm after storm. And, you know, these are the worst types that are just like an inch. And if you don't clear your driveway, it may not clear up. It just adds up. So please be careful.